Altcoin season is heating up as the altcoin season index has jumped to levels we have not seen since the end of 2024, and crypto Twitter, or now X, is buzzing. Historically, when this happens, capital rotates out of Bitcoin and into altcoins, and that's where the biggest multipliers are made. So in today's video, I want to talk about one project that's perfectly positioned for this moment. It's already live, it has a real product, and it's tapping into one of the largest global markets with zero competition at the moment, with over 300 million runners worldwide. And that project is called Runwago, a new SportFi app that's launching its token in just days. I'm going to walk you through the fundamentals, the tokenomics, and why I think this could be one of the strongest altcoin launches of 2025. My name is Paul Sampson. Welcome back to DataDash. So just to explain why I put so much weight on an altcoin season is that historically these moments are where the biggest wealth shifts happen in crypto. In 2017, we saw small cap tokens explode 50 to 100x, and in 2021 it was DeFi and NFTs leading the charge, and every single time it starts when capital begins rotating out of Bitcoin into the altcoins. That's why this environment is so important, because if you can find strong projects with real fundamentals before the crowd piles in, asymmetric gains are made. Now, we all know that from history, narratives drive cycles. Last cycle, it was DeFi summer, then NFTs, then GameFi, and then metaverses. Well, this cycle, we're already seeing AI and RWA gain traction, but there's another emerging sector, and I think that it has massive room, and that's SportFi. Applications that merge fitness, lifestyle, and finance all into one. Think of it like GameFi, but rooted in real-world activity, and that's where Runwago comes in. Unlike many hype projects that promise something soon, Runwago already has a live app on the App Store and Google Play, trending in multiple countries, with Garmin integration and Puma partnership support, and that's a huge signal that it's not just vaporware. This is a real utility meeting crypto incentives. So let's break this down. The Runwago app has three main sections. Star mode, which are tasks and challenges that keep users engaged even on days that they don't run. Web3 challenges, where users can actually monetize their running goals, earning rewards for completing challenges. There's also a referral program similar to Duolingo style systems that keep the community growing. And this model is designed to be sustainable, unlike StepN, which collapsed because of unsustainable payouts. Runwago only rewards real effort and completed challenges, and that means long-term viability. And here's the kicker: the app already ranks #1 in some categories, with thousands of downloads in just days, all before the token has even launched. That's grassroots demand, and it speaks volumes. Now let's talk some numbers, because this is where Runwago stands out. At TGE, Runwago launches with an initial market cap of just $351,000. That's incredibly small compared to the potential, and for context, StepN's GMT token hit a $2.3 billion market cap at its peak last cycle. Even today, years later, GMT still sits at over $100 million. So let's dive deeper into the comparison with StepN, because I think it's pretty important. StepN was the first to show that people would actually run for rewards. But the problem was, in the token model that they had, the rewards were inflationary, which means that more people joined, the more tokens they had to print, and eventually the supply completely outpaced the demand for that program. Runwago has learned from that mistake, and instead of paying everyone endlessly, rewards are actually tied to challenges that are being completed, and that means that the app is not just bleeding tokens just to keep people interested. It's going to be rewarding real effort, and that's what makes this model more sustainable long term when in comparison to StepN's model that did fail. If Runwago were to reach just 10% of StepN's valuation, that's a 38x return from here, and that's conservative math. Plus, the pre-sale has already sold out in minutes, raising over $3 million with minimal marketing. So that tells me two things: that there's strong demand here and the team knows how to execute. Now, on top of that, staking and Web3 challenges are set to open days after the TGE. And by the way, folks, TGE just stands for Token Generation Event, so it's very similar to like an IPO. So this is basically when this product or this item is being listed, essentially. So again, staking and Web3 challenges are set to open days after that TGE, meaning that tokens are going to be immediately locked up and put to work reducing the supply. Of course, folks, just like with any token launch, the first few days of trading can be extremely volatile. Prices can swing wildly as early investors take profits, new buyers rush in. So while the upside potential can be huge, it is important to approach these events with caution and never risk more than you are comfortable with. As the old saying goes, never risk more than you can afford to lose, essentially, right? So just take it as anything else with a grain of caution. So why does this matter? Because crypto is a narrative-driven market, and SportFi is one of the cleanest narratives you can get right now. People already love running, and over 300 million people do it daily. So now imagine if a fraction of them start monetizing their goals through Runwago. That's real adoption and not just speculation. The team behind Runwago is also fully public and transparent. They've partnered with Garmin, Puma, and were developed by Clevio X, a professional European Web3 studio that's built products at scale. And looking ahead, the roadmap is absolutely jam-packed. Web3 challenges launched just 4 days after the TGE. Fiat onboarding, so credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, will be later this year, opening doors to Web2 users without needing to learn crypto. And even AR, so augmented reality, development is in the pipeline as well, building for Meta and Google AR glasses. So this isn't just a token play, it's a full ecosystem with retail-ready adoption baked in. So why am I talking about this right now? Because timing matters in crypto. So we're in the middle of an altcoin season right now, and the projects with smaller market caps have the best setup for exponential upside. So Runwago isn't promising something years away. It's already live, it's trending, and it's about to list on tier 1 exchanges. Again, I want you to understand that this is something I would exercise high caution on, because even though these are smaller market caps with higher upside potential, there is high risk that comes along with it. So just utilize that and manage your risk accordingly, of course. But with that being said, momentum like this doesn't come often, and from what I've seen, early movers stand to benefit the most. So this is by no means financial advice, but from my research, I believe Runwago has the fundamentals, the narrative, and timing to be one of the breakout SportFi projects of this cycle. So one of the reasons that I'm bullish here is the narrative. Every cycle has its narratives. Again, DeFi, NFTs, AI, metaverse. SportFi could be one of those this cycle, and just think about it, with over 300 million people that run each and every day. It's a massive user base, and until now, none of them have been able to monetize those runs. With Runwago, you're not just asking people to learn a new habit, they're already running, and you're just giving them a way to turn that into value. And that's what makes this so powerful. I think that the adoption doesn't require changing behavior is key, and that it just rewards what people are already doing is also unique in this sense. So to wrap things up, Runwago checks a lot of boxes here. A live, trending app with real utility, a sustainable model that rewards real effort, partnerships with major companies like Garmin and Puma, and a massive potential audience of over 300 million runners. That's why I think this launch could be special. So if you'd like to learn more, I've linked the Runwago website, the white paper, and exchange listings down below. I'll personally be watching this one closely as the TGE approaches. Thank you all so much, as always, for tuning in. I hope today's video gave you some perspective, not just on Runwago, but also on how to evaluate altcoin launches in general. So be sure to stay safe, stay smart. I'll see you on the next update. And until then, everybody, cheers.